All right, welcome from that short time out. If you just join us, it's Business Today on EBS Television. Women entrepreneurs are increasingly becoming powerful drivers as drivers of economic growth, job creation, as well as innovation, especially in emerging markets like Nigeria. And also, however, there's still a whole lot of challenges, a whole lot of barriers that the women in entrepreneurs are currently facing, and these and many more will form our conversation tonight with a business expert who will be giving us insight on how women can scale hurdles, break barriers, and ensure that they make their voice count in the business and also as entrepreneurs. Joining us this evening for this conversation is no other person than Judith Adako. Judith, good evening this evening.
Good evening, Emmanuel.
Yeah. Now let's start from the very basics. Let's start from the general, from the so obvious. Let's look at women over the years as drivers of economic change. We know of our mothers in those days. We see that they are into buying, into selling. They are entrepreneurs. They are ensuring that they are able to provide and ensure that they make their home front stand and run effectively. And we are seeing that even in modern ages and modern era, that our women, our young ladies are also standing up, bracing up very strong to ensure that they are also counting. Now let's ask, how does it feel? What does it take to be a female entrepreneur, Judith?
Okay, so firstly, to be a female entrepreneur, especially in an emerging market, means that apart from the thrill that we get and the fact that we typically most times go into business because we want to solve some of our personal problems, we want to augment the income in our families. You are battling being in an emerging market, the risk is high. Then there's also the cultural norm where people feel that women are supposed to be at home providing for their home. So most times I think the times have changed a bit, right? Because it's now a bit more welcoming to see women going to business without having brows raised. But being a woman in business, an entrepreneur in an emerging market, feels like you're fighting every day for your life, for your family, for everything that you hold there.
Fantastic. It seems you're just trying to downplay some of the pressure that being a female entrepreneur is. Now, let's look at barriers now. You did mention some while speaking. What do you think are some of the barriers now that women in business, especially in emerging market, that they face on a daily basis, ensuring that they not only exist in the market space but also thrive?
Okay, so the barriers that women face, there are quite a lot, like I already said, because apart from being in an emerging market, you are now a woman, so you have two strikes against you already, being a woman in business. Then there is also lack of access to finance. There's this unspoken law that I don't know where it came from, that women cannot manage money as effectively as men. If we can't manage money as effectively as men, but we do manage money more effectively than men in our homes, why do you think that women will not be able to access or manage finance or to give you a return for your investment? So there's lack of access to credit and finance because there is this unspoken law. That's one. Then two, there is also the gender and cultural norm, right? People say women are supposed to be in the kitchen. There is no space for a woman as a business person. She needs to tend to her family. So there's also that cultural norm that puts women in the cage and locks them up in the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the house, in the home. Also, we have an unconventional take, I might add, the hours of unpaid domestic labor that women do.
Are they supposed to be, are you advocating that they should be paid, or a kind of compensation should be made?
Okay, not exactly that they should be paid, but there should be adequate support in the home front. Now, if a woman goes out as much as a man, one would expect that there is both support from both people that run the home to be able to manage the home effectively. But what you see is the woman will bear all the brunt of taking care of the home, and then she has very little time to manage her business, and that also affects the effective running of their business.
Fantastic. And you did say that the issue of access to fund, and I'm wondering if we look at the top, I would say 6 top banks we have in Nigeria. 5 of them are being controlled by women. So women obviously are growing more powerful by the day. What do you think are some of the factors that are predisposed to making women becoming more powerful over the years? We've seen that in the banking institution. We're seeing that even in business. We're seeing that also as entrepreneurs. What do you think are the factors responsible?
Okay, so one thing that has made more women prominent in business is that the landscape is changing. The world has come to understand, or we are beginning to understand, even though we need more awareness on that front, that women as much as men can run businesses and they can also thrive, right? So there's been awareness, there's been increased advocacy, right, for women to take up leadership position. I think it was in Stanbic or so, where I read somewhere that they made sure they had women, right, on their management.
That's gender equality now, yes. corporate governance.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
gender board diversity.
Those are some of the things that has made more women prominent in business places, giving them the platform, right, to showcase that women can do the same thing that men can do.
Do you think we should reserve space for women, or they should they should compete for space? Because if we look at board diversity, gender, and the rest, balancing gender, it's almost as if we're giving we're reserving this space to women because of sympathy. Do you think it should be that way, or it should be that women compete favorably well, or even more than their male counterpart, and as such they deserve what they get?
Okay, so that brings me to the topic of gender equality and gender equity. I am not for gender equality because I don't feel, or I don't think that men and women are the same. They both have their strengths. And so because I support gender equity, I would agree and say that women should be given specific slots. So there should be reserved slots for women that are groomed to take over those positions.
Fantastic. Now let's look at some of the myths that you think our young ladies should be doing away with to ensure that they strive. Because a lot of myths are out there that, all right, you should be in the kitchen or in the other room, or you should be seen but not heard. Now let's look at how some of these myths, what should be done about them, and how this myth as well have limited a lot of potentials.
Okay, so the first myth that we want to do away with, as not just women but as parents who have been entrusted with girl children, is that both men and women, or male and female children, are important, and they can rise to the peak in any careers they find themselves. Unfortunately, my father is no longer here, but that's one of the things that he did that gave me an edge. So because I had the opportunity to go to the university, starting from secondary school, my trajectory changed greatly. Do you understand? So first things first, as a woman and as parents to both male and female children, you should open their minds, open their hearts to the fact that they can achieve and they can become peak in any career that they get to. Another myth that women particularly have to do away with is that women, as much as men, can be successful in business. They can run businesses, they can penetrate new markets. You do not need to have a man watching over your shoulders to be able to achieve as much as you want to do in business. Another thing you also should understand as a woman is that finance is not magic, it's maths. It can be learned. It can be learned.
I think we need to re-echo that. finance is not magic. When you mean magic, what are you trying to spotlight? What are you trying to single out? It's not magic, but it is mathematics. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Please, I need you to re-echo that and let's elaborate on that.
Okay, so when I say finance is not magic, I remember that I had a friend who had a business who would not go through her books, right? Simply because she said it was maths and she didn't understand. So she just took pleasures in doing the everyday chore around the business, but left the financial part of it, which is actually the crux of the business.
Correct.
You need to understand what your inflows are, what your outflows are. You need to understand how much you bring in, how much is leaving your business, how much are you getting in profit, what is your profit margin. So these are things that we need to also check. We should make sure we get to the root of it. You shouldn't say because I am a woman it is maths, I am not good in maths, so therefore you take it aside. No, it's all part of running a business. You can do it. If a man can do it, you can also do it as well.
Fantastic. Now if you just joined us, we're still looking at how women can break barriers as female entrepreneurs, female business people, to stand out and do very well. Judith Adak will still with us this tonight, and we've been gaining perspective a lot about the conversation. Now, Judith, let's look at the issue of financial literacy, financial education. When we organize trainings, we see more of, I don't want to now mention, how often do you think women are interested when it comes to financial literacy and financial education from your perspective?
Okay, so the problem is back to the point I just came from, where most women feel like finance is magic. They feel like it's a man's job. It should be left for men. I mean, Okonjo-Iweala has shown us that not only men can do things that's related to finance, a woman can do the same thing. So we need to improve the awareness, right, for women, helping them understand that this thing can be understood. There is a basis to it. If you understand the basics, you will definitely be able to do it. So if we improve the awareness, right, and I also mentioned about the fact that women have the burden of domestic chores. So if people plan financial literacy for women, you should also make adequate arrangements to cater to their children. Those other things that they are supposed to do but are not doing at that time, they should have people. So if you have a segment and say this is where we are doing the training, there should be nannies, people that man a certain environment that helps these people take care of their children. Make sure that the time you are doing the training is not when they are running to pick their children. So those are some of the things that you also need to be put into consideration when you are planning financial literacy to enable more women attend these programs.
How strong is a woman when it comes to multitasking? Because I see that you're seeing a lot when it comes to multitask now. You need to cater for your home front. By how means you must juggle all 5 or 6 or even 10 balls. You are not dropping any. And for me, I think women, when it comes to multitasking, because for me, if my wife is sending me one, is adding 2, I say, I'm not. Just let me finish with one. Now, how strong is a woman when it comes to the issue of multitasking?
So I think that the ability to multitask is being built in women right from when they were younger, right? Because as a female child, I speak because I also grew up as a female child before I got where I am. You are responsible not just for yourself, you are responsible for your siblings. You also sometimes have to take the burdens of your parents when it comes to trainings and things like that. So all of these things have added to building that capacity for women to multitask, and that's why it seems like it comes natural to women. There are some people that cannot multitask because of their own background. So multitasking is not exactly for women alone, right? It just happens that women are better at it because they've had that training over time.
Fantastic. Before I allow Judith that could go, now let's look at the role technology is playing. Technology seems at this point to be a leveler now. What role do you think technology is playing from the likes of the linear cages and also the like of so many persons using technology effectively? What role is technology playing in ensuring that these barriers are shattered? In fact, we don't have any barriers in our mind. In a minute or less, Judith, as I let you go.
Okay, so firstly, technology is helping women get access to financial literacy, because if they cannot attend physical trainings, they can see these videos on Facebook, right? We also have technology providing access to markets for women, because whether we like it or not, women dominate the social commerce industry, because before you scroll 10 times or 5 pages on Instagram, TikTok or the likes, you find a woman selling something. It is also helping women to gain confidence, because they can see right on their screen that women are doing bold and mighty things, and it gives them the confidence that they too can do the same.
All right. Women, as a young woman out there, wherever you are, and you're following the program, if you are a female entrepreneur, the sky is not your limit. The sky is just your starting point. Thank you, Judith Adaku, for your time. And we trust that a lot of women have gotten a thing or two from your conversation tonight. All right, Business Today continues after this short break. Not go anywhere.